Welcome to our YouTube channel 𝗪𝗺𝗪𝗀. We invite you to dive into a mysterious world where each riddle is a journey through a story that hides clues. The story begins here and now.
In the bustling alleys of Yaoundé, the capital of Cameroon, there was a small cafe named Le Refuge. It was a meeting place for the locals, where the aromas of freshly ground coffee mingled with laughter and lively discussions. This is where our story begins, with two souls who seem to be opposites in every way. Awa, a young woman with a radiant smile, worked as a waitress at the cafe. She was known for her kindness and her ability to listen to others' stories without ever judging. Every morning, she welcomed the customers with a warmth that made them forget their daily worries. One day, a mysterious man appeared. His name was Samuel, a writer in search of inspiration. His deep blue eyes seemed to hide buried secrets. He always sat at the same table, near the window, and spent hours writing in his notebook, discreetly observing the comings and goings of the customers. Awa and Samuel began to exchange words, first small talk, then deeper conversations. They talked about their dreams, their fears, and their hopes. Awa shared how she dreamed of traveling and discovering the world, while Samuel shared his reflections on life and love. One day, Samuel dropped a page from his notebook. Awa picked it up and read a few lines. The words were filled with melancholy and mystery, evoking distant travels and unexpected encounters. She felt a strange connection to these writings, as if an invisible force was binding them together. Days passed, and their friendship turned into something deeper. They often met after work, exploring the streets of Yaoundé, sharing moments of complicity. However, a shadow hung over their relationship. Samuel always seemed preoccupied, as if he was carrying an invisible burden. One evening, while they were strolling through a night market, Samuel stopped in front of a stall of old books. He picked one up and leafed through it with particular attention. Curious, Awa asked him what interested him so much. Samuel replied with an enigmatic smile. Sometimes the answers we seek are found in the most unexpected places. Awa did not immediately understand the meaning of his words, but she felt that something important was at play. She decided to trust him and accompany him on his quest, even though she did not yet know where it would lead them. Thus began their adventure, a story of love and mystery, where each day brought its share of discoveries and revelations. But deep in her heart, Awa knew that to fully understand Samuel, she would have to decipher the hidden clues in his words and actions. The days turned into weeks, and Awa and Samuel continued to grow closer. Their walks through Yaoundé became rituals, with each street corner revealing a new facet of the city and their relationship. One evening, as they were strolling near 𝗪𝗏𝗡, Samuel suddenly stopped and gazed at the horizon with unusual intensity. "Awa," he said softly, "have you ever felt that some things are predestined? That our paths were laid out long before we were born?" Awa, surprised by the question, thought for a moment before answering, "I believe that some encounters are written in the stars, but I also think we have the power to choose our destiny." Samuel nodded as if he had expected this answer. "There is something I need to show you," he said, taking a small notebook from his pocket. "This notebook contains fragments of my life, thoughts, and memories, but there are also things I don't yet understand." He handed the notebook to Awa, who opened it carefully. The pages were filled with drawings and notes, some in French, others in languages she did not recognize. Among the writings, she noticed symbols and phrases that seemed familiar, but whose exact meaning she could not grasp. "These symbols," she murmured, "they remind me of something, but I don't know what." Samuel smiled mysteriously. "That's how I feel too, as if a part of me knows the answer, but it's just out of reach." Their quest led them to the National Library of Yaoundé, a place where the past and present mingled in studious silence. They spent hours browsing through old books, searching for clues that might help them decipher the mysteries of Samuel's notebook. One day, while leafing through an old manuscript, Awa came across an illustration that caught her attention. It was a depiction of a traveler carrying few belongings, but with an expression of serenity and determination. She showed the image to Samuel, who seemed struck by a sudden revelation. "This traveler," he said, "reminds me of a story my grandmother used to tell me when I was a child, a story of faith and simplicity, where the true treasure was not material but spiritual." Awa felt a wave of understanding wash over her. Maybe what we're looking for isn't in the books, but in the experiences we live and the lessons we learn. Samuel agreed, and they decided to continue their quest, not by seeking answers in books, but by fully living each moment, being attentive to the signs and synchronicities of life.
Their relationship grew stronger, each day bringing its share of discoveries and challenges. They learned to know each other deeply, to support each other in moments of doubt and joy. But deep in their hearts, they knew their quest was not yet over. Time passed, and Awa and Samuel continued their exploration of Yaoundé, discovering hidden places and forgotten stories. One evening, as they were walking near the municipal lake, they encountered an old man sitting on a bench, gently playing the 𝗁𝗺𝗃. The melody was both sad and soothing, like an echo from the past. Intrigued, they approached and began to talk with the old man, who introduced himself as Mr. 𝗫𝐿𝐴. He told them stories of his childhood, local legends and ancestral wisdom. 𝗪𝗿 and Samuel listened attentively, feeling that each word carried a particular weight. "There is an old legend," said Mr. 𝗫𝐿𝐴, "about a traveller who roamed the world with few possessions but great wisdom. It is said that he always found what he needed, even in the most difficult times." Samuel exchanged a meaningful look with 𝗪𝗿. This story strangely resonated with the symbols and phrases in the notebook. They thanked Mr. 𝗫𝐿𝐴 and continued their walk, reflecting on the old man's words. The next day, Samuel suggested to 𝗪𝗿 that they visit a village on the outskirts of Yaoundé, where he had heard of an old sage who might help them in their quest. They took a bush taxi and travelled through lush landscapes until they arrived in a picturesque little village. They were welcomed by the sage, a man of great serenity named 𝗪𝗏𝗮𝗺. He invited them to sit under a large mango tree and offered them tea. Samuel explained their quest and showed the notebook to 𝗪𝗏𝗮𝗺, who examined it carefully. "This notebook," said 𝗪𝗏𝗮𝗺, "contains fragments of truth. But truth is not only found in words, it is found in actions and intentions." He told them a story from his own past, a story of sacrifice and faith, where he had to give up everything he owned to follow an inner calling. His words were filled with wisdom and depth, and 𝗪𝗿 and Samuel felt they were on the verge of understanding something important. As they left the village, 𝗪𝗿 turned to Samuel. "I believe we are close to the answer," she said. "But we're still missing something." Samuel nodded. "Yes, we must continue to search, to be open to signs and synchronicities. The answer will come to us when we are ready." Their quest led them through varied landscapes, from mountains to beaches, from forests to deserts. Each place brought its share of discoveries and reflections. They met inspiring people, heard moving stories, and learned to see the world with new eyes. But deep in their hearts they knew that the true answer lay in their own inner journey, in the lessons they learned, and the transformations they experienced. 𝗪𝗿 and Samuel's journey finally led them to a small coastal village where they hoped to find the answers they had been seeking for so long. The village, with its colourful houses and fine sandy beaches, seemed like a haven of peace. They were warmly welcomed by the inhabitants, who told them about an ancient temple located on a hill overlooking the sea. Guided by the villagers, they climbed the hill and reached the temple, a place of serenity and contemplation. Inside, they found ancient frescoes and mysterious inscriptions. Samuel, observing the frescoes, noticed symbols similar to those in his notebook. He felt a deep connection with this place, as if all the pieces of the puzzle were finally coming together. 𝗪𝗿, for her part, lost herself in thought, reflecting on everything they had experienced together. She recalled the words of 𝗪𝗏𝗮𝗺 and Mr. 𝗫𝐿𝐴 and understood that their quest was not just a search for answers, but a journey of personal transformation. As they explored the temple, they met an old woman, the guardian of the place. She welcomed them with a kind smile and offered them fresh water. Samuel showed her his notebook, and she examined it carefully. "This notebook," she said, "contains fragments of ancient wisdom, but true wisdom is not found in words, it is found in the heart." She told them a story from her own past, a story of faith and resilience, where she had to overcome many obstacles to find inner peace. Her words resonated deeply with them, and they realized that their quest was coming to an end. As they left the temple, 𝗪𝗿 and Samuel felt transformed. They had learned to see the world with new eyes, to appreciate each moment and to find beauty in the small things. Their love had grown stronger, and they knew they were ready to face life's challenges together. Dear subscribers, can you discern the central biblical passage that weaves the thread of this mysterious story? Before writing your response in the comments, please carefully read the validity conditions for responses in the description section below this video. Each response must be justified by at least 3 clues present in the story. These clues must be explained or commented on to strengthen your response. Additionally, modified responses will be ignored, and remember that you only have 2 attempts. Congratulations to everyone who manages to solve the riddles on their own. Keep it up. We would like to remind you that the goal of these riddles is to stimulate your thinking and creativity. Using artificial intelligence tools to find the answers goes against this spirit. We encourage everyone to take on the challenge by their own means to derive the maximum satisfaction.
Dear subscribers, do you have an idea of the answer? Leave your answers in the comments. Don't forget, the first to find the correct answer will win the reward at stake. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. As soon as a winner is crowned, we will publish a special video to celebrate their triumph and reveal the solution to the riddle. So, stay tuned to not miss anything. Don't forget to show your support by liking and commenting on our videos. Subscribe to be among the first to discover our new challenges, and most importantly, share our videos to help our community grow. We look forward to seeing you very soon for more captivating riddles.